They don't refer to each other by the name of their school. Instead, it's that team across the river. Ayersville and Tinora, arch rivals. It is a healthy rivalry. There was a time I was told it was near a blood rivalry, but respect has entered the game, and we've got a big matchup here this evening in the Green Meadows Conference. Welcome aboard. There you see it, the Hangar. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Dow as DCTV Sports is on the air with the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Visit their lot in person or online at drivebobestel.com. Claire, it's been a couple weeks since we were both in this gym. It was a boys' game. They will be playing tomorrow night. Tinora night, you will get your first taste of the Emerald, Tinora's gymnasium. But tonight, it is the Hangar. Look, you take a look at the records, 9-8 for Tinora. They feel they should probably have 3 or 4 more, but they lost a couple games early. That, again, Coach Thiel is honest. He said sometimes you tip your cap to the opponent and say, you played better than us, you won. There are other times where you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, we lost. The opening 2 games, in particular against Miller City by 2 and Bryan by 5, and even throw Hilltop by 3 in, all smart right now, as they feel they should be probably a 13-win team instead of 9. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and tonight is the most important game on the schedule.
Well, and that's what's tough, especially at the beginning of the season, because you're kind of getting to know this team, and, you know, the girls can get down on themselves a little bit. Man, we're 0-3, but all 3 of those losses within 5 points or less. And now you look at where they are now, and they are just hot. They've lost a couple of games out of their last 4, but other than that, they had a nice 4-game win streak going back to that huge win over Holgate, and they are just really ready to rock.
Look, they come in averaging nearly 44 points per game, but they get it done at the defensive end of the court, only allowing opponents 39 points per ball game. On the flip side, Ayersville a season ago, it wasn't uncommon for the Pilots to win a game 37-38-28. This year, defensively not bad, 43 points per game, but offensively they've only been able to manage 32.5 points per game, and they're at 19 turnovers per contest. That can't happen tonight if they want to stay in.
It is tough to win a game when you have that many turnovers, because on top of that, it's a slippery slope, because most times turnovers lead to buckets for the other team, so it just can be really hard to climb out of that hole with that many turnovers.
Had a chance to stop out to both teams' practices. When we get both of our area schools, it can't just be one or the other. We certainly don't want to be accused of favoritism. So what we're going to do is take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to start things off with our visitors tonight. It will be Coach Thiel, followed by our player profile for the Rams. Congratulations to senior Nova Oakley. She hit the 1,000-point mark for her career on Monday night. She needed 20. That's exactly what she got against Montpelier. Just a tremendous young woman, planning to go to Ohio State, but we'll let her tell her story in her own words. We'll also hear from Pilots head coach Tim Nicely and Miss Everything for Ayersville, Kendra Waldron. Don't you go anywhere. The Super Bowl has an extended pregame. For the River Rivalry, so do we. An extended Bob Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestel.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues as we've got the big arch rivals getting after each other. It was at the Emerald last year. It's at the Hangar this season, but it doesn't lack for intensity. You could go play at midnight on the local grade school playground, and they'll go after each other with 110%. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us, as it is that team across the river facing that other team across the river. It depends on which side of the Maumee you're standing on. Tinora at Ayersville. Coach Steele joining us right now. It's been too long, Coach. It was, I think it was around Christmas
Before
at
Christmas,
the Group
beginning of
Classic. So it was about time that we get Tinora girls basketball back on the air, and nothing short of spectacular. As I look at it right now, 9-8 overall, 3-2 in the GMC. Big one for more than just bragging rights. This still counts towards the conference standings as well. Walk us through where this team is at compared to the last time we talked.
Oh, I mean, Nova said it earlier. This team is a completely different team than what we started off earlier in the season. First couple games, some of those games got away from us, but we look at that as adversity. It's something we need to overcome, learn, and grow from. These girls, they've rose to the occasion on that aspect for sure. I think we're a more aggressive team. We're a smarter team. We're playing together. We're unified right now, and that's huge.
Coming through 3 seasons, you're close to almost a full class having had their tutelage underneath you. I don't want to take a 4-wheel drive trip down memory lane, but can you walk us back to that first season, how you were feeling them out? Obviously, they were doing likewise with you. How are you different? How are your players different?
Yeah, that first season was big. It was a learning curve. My first year coaching girls. We ended up going 13-11. Got the first tournament win for Tinora girls basketball since 2017, which was huge. Those seniors and stuff then, they deserved that, and we really wanted it for them. And it's been something that kind of fueled the underclassmen at that time. So, last year being the second season, we ended up reaching district semifinals. Played a really good Liberty Center team over there. We come up 3 points shy of district championship, which was awesome. But it keeps fueling these girls, which is just huge. It's been a lot of fun. We don't want to stop there either.
Well, part of that is talent with work ethic, and you've had some good ones come through. We talked about losing some good leaders from last season, but you had a really strong foundation coming in this year. Where is this team now as we head into February compared to where you thought they'd be, where you'd like them to be?
Obviously, any coach wants to be ahead of where they're at, I think. I mean, you're not undefeated, you want more, right? Being 9-8 though right now, we had a really tough schedule at the beginning of the season. We were still trying to find, our rhythm and our chemistry without Addison Lee out there and Carly Oakley. They brought so much to the game for us last year, but we brought back what we call the 3-headed monster, and that's Ao and Julia and Nova. But then we got so many girls that can step in there and fill those other 2 spots, and they're doing a great job of it.
Well, we're going to hear from Nova, and she's very humble, which is one of the many reasons we like about her. But I'm watching. You've got Ao, who's very quiet. Julia, I don't want to say joker, but maybe tends to show a little bit more of her personality. But when that whistle sounds, it's time to get after it. Can you just talk about this year's senior class, even beyond those 3 and what they've met?
Yeah, those 3 seniors in particular have done such a great job. We know going to any game, okay, Nova's she might draw the best defender from the other team. Okay, so who's going to get Ao and who's going to get Julia? And next girl up, and they all like that opportunity because all of them go score the ball. Last night, for example, against Montpelier, Julia had a career high, 16 points. She went 4 for 4 from the 3-point line and from behind the 3-point line. That's huge. That's such a momentum for her. It's very encouraging to the rest of the team that we can all step up and do that. Christina Myers, a junior, is coming out there doing great things for us. Emma's coming in playing really good offense and defense, playing the post well. She's at the 1-2 punch, so when she's not out there, we have Tatum Krebs out there at 6'1", 6'2". She's an animal out there for us, too. We've got Amelia Coy doing a great job. She's kind of that spark for us sometimes, so we really recognize that and utilize that at times. Then we looked at our underclassmen. There's been times we get a couple freshmen even out there, some sophomores. Madison Spangler coming out, and she plays with intensity. We've got a bunch of girls right now that can go out there and play some good basketball for us, which is very encouraging.
So let's go ahead and talk about what it's going to take to win tonight. Ayersville is a little bit depleted. Obviously, a senior-laden team last year, graduating 4 senior starters and a couple off the bench. Yet at the same time, I don't care what the sport is. You could be playing tiddlywinks, and this is going to mean 110% all out. What's the scout on the Pilots this year?
Well, Kendra Waldron is going to be their go-to. I mean, she's physical. She's just an all-around great athlete. We're gonna get after them. We gotta get after them. I don't care what their record is. I don't care who they are. They're the Pilots. Tim does a great job with those girls, and they're gonna give us their best game of the season. That's how everybody plays us. So we're gonna go out there and play with intensity, throw some different defenses around, and offensively create some opportunities for ourselves and our teammates.
Without going too deep into the psychology of coaching, but again, we're gonna hear from Nova. This team was upset that they got beat on their home court last season. You go to the hangar this time around. I know that you don't have to give a big pregame speech. If that doesn't basically light your fire, then your wood is wet. But at the same time, What's it mean? What would it mean to your team to get a little payback on the Pilots' home court this season?
It's huge. It's not just this season. Looking at last year, we lost to them here. They beat us on our own turf, on our own court. I think it was an 8-point game last year. They ended up beating us by 8. Year before that, we played them twice. We played them DPT. We lost to them by 5. Played them in the regular season. We lost to them by 5. So we're right there every game with them. It's that rivalry right there. We want that. And not just that. We've only got 4 games left of the regular season. We keep preaching to the girls. We're playing tournament basketball now. We need to get that mindset going. We need to play with that intensity, play to the officials, all that. So we're looking at each game. How can we get better? How can we prepare better for tournament? And Ayersville's been a good contest for us, for sure.
Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Good luck to you, not just tonight, but the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Coach Thiel, he's not our player profile. He's our coach profile right now. This is what happens when you do both teams, both sets of coaches, and both players. Nova Oakley is our Tinora player profile. She is up next. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching more of the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. DCTV Sports. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Big matchup, both the girls and the boys. I don't think they refer to themselves by the school's actual names. They call each other that team across the river. Well, etiquette says ladies first, so we will. Game going to be played at the hangar, but as you can tell right now, we're doing our Tinora player profile from the Emerald. We've nicknamed it the Emerald. Does this gym have a nickname? It's like one of the few in Northwest Ohio that doesn't, so we're trying to see if we can get it to stick. What we can say is, if you don't know the young lady to my left, have you been living in a cave? Because she's been the only player profile we've had for Tinora so far this season, and she has earned it. Nova Oakley joining us right now on the heels of an intense practice. You guys ready for this one?
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
She says that with just a little orneriness in her voice. Before we preview, let's recap. You okay with that?
Yep.
First things first, at Montpelier, 58-50 win, and you needed 20. You got exactly 20 to become a 1,000-point scorer in Tinora history. I'm sure it's been 1,000,000. Let me make it 1,000,001. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels pretty great. I've been wanting this for a long time, so it feels good to have it.
Now, it doesn't come overnight from the snap of the fingers. It comes over years, seasons of hard work. How gratifying is that for you?
It's so huge. I mean, I feel so grateful to have this opportunity. I couldn't do it without my teammates, my coaches, everyone. I'm just so thankful for everyone.
I knew she would be humble and credit everybody but herself. That's one of the things that we like about her. You knew, though, going in you needed 20, and you got exactly 20. With that said, there's still a lot of season left to be played. Let's rewind to the beginning of this season. Matter of fact, let's go back to last year. What were some of the things you were working on to make yourself a better player this season?
We worked a lot on conditioning in the preseason and just getting a lot of repetitions with my shot and also working on my defense. I wanted to work on that as well.
I'm glad she said the other end of the court, because that doesn't make the highlight reels at 6 and 11 very often. Everybody sees the breakaway layup or the massive three-pointer. It takes a special mindset to play defense. Did you challenge yourself? Did Coach Thiel challenge you? Was it a combination of things?
It was a combination of a lot of it. In preseason conditioning, we worked a lot on that, and I think that really helped me.
Was he a taskmaster? Did he crack the whip a little bit, or were you well motivated?
A little bit both.
She's being very honest. Beyond that, team-wise, goals. I know you guys sit down and talk about them. You guys openly talk about them. What are the team goals this year?
One of the team goals we had was GMCs, and we also want to make a deep tournament run. And overall, we just wanted to build the team chemistry and have fun throughout the season.
Where is this team? How much better is it now compared to, say, back in late November, early December?
It's like, I don't want to say it's a completely different team, but we have just built so much this season, and I've just loved to see how much we've grown. And it's just so fun playing with these girls.
Your senior season, it can get sentimental. Now, this is going to be the last time I do this, last time I spend time doing this with my teammates. Have you allowed that to sink in, or are you staying focused on the task at hand?
It hasn't sunk in quite yet, but we're really focused right now, so I think it'll sink in a little bit later.
A little bit. That's good, though. That's a very good coaching answer. I'm not going to graduate you too soon, but this is your senior season. what are plans for you after graduation?
I'm going to Ohio State University, and I'm going to be majoring in nursing.
Nursing. So if I come back and do an interview with you in 5, 10, 15 years, where is Nova Oakley going to be? What's the dream job for you?
Probably in a hospital somewhere. I might apply to med school. I'm not sure yet, but nursing for now.
So nursing or possibly doctor?
Yep.
Okay. Do you see yourself staying involved in basketball in any way, shape, or form?
I think so. I think I want to be a coach in the future, but probably not for a while.
Not for a while. It's okay. We're not planning out her life in the next 60 seconds here. Do you see yourself maybe coming back to the alma mater, or is that too soon to tell?
Too soon to tell.
You still have one more conference game to go. You still have, another handful, about 3 or 4, I think.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Ayersville rivalry. Tons of respect. What's it going to take to beat the Pilots?
We're just going to have to come out with energy, like a lot of energy and aggression, and really just have that drive and passion we've had the whole season.
There's a rumor, and I came from an Ayersville practice, so maybe I'll go ahead and claim to be the grapevine. Kendra Waldron's going to draw you. Best on best. You wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
Nope.
Beyond that, it's not just you against the world. It's 4 other teammates in green against the Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Rivalry is intense, but it seems like it's a healthy one. You guys respect each other too, don't you?
Yep.
At the same time, they came into your place last year and beat you. I'm looking at the look right now. I can tell you what she's probably going to say. How sweet would it be to get a little payback?
That would be very, very sweet.
But at the same time, you got to earn it, right?
Yes.
No disrespect.
Yes.
This is just one of a handful more left to go in the regular season and hopefully a deep playoff run. Best of luck to you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Nova Oakley, our player profile. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this on DCTV Sports. Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV Sports. It is time. First of 2 as the arch rivals get set to do battle on the basketball court tonight. But etiquette says ladies first. So we will, as we are live from the hangar, as Ayersville welcomes, I believe they refer to each other as that team across the river.
Yes.
Tinora makes the trip over. Coach Nicely joining us as we're going to have coaches and player profiles from both schools here on the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Big thank you going out to Estill Chevrolet Cadillac. Check out their great selection of new and used vehicles, both in person or online at drivebobestil.com. Brent Balbanot being joined by Coach Nicely right now. Coach, I know it's cliche, and I know everybody can talk about, no matter what the sport is, you throw out the record when these two schools get together. But it's not just talk. It's a healthy rivalry, but it's an intense one. Break it down for us.
I think over the years, I think it was a little bit more intense back in the day, but it's still pretty intense. We always want to beat Tinora. And I always say, if you get one win during the year, it's that game. They got a very nice team. Of course, last year we went over there and played pretty well and beat them. We're having a little bit of a rebuilding year this year here. But our girls will be ready to go, and we got some things ready to go, and I think it'll be a great game.
Let's go ahead and rewind before we preview. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yep.
You and I were talking about it, and I'm looking down at the stats here. I've done the averages. Defensively, you're solid this season. You're giving up about 42 points per game. Offensively, Allie Schindler carried so much offensively last year for this team at about 16 points per game, but there were another group of anonymous voices in the chorus, I guess you could say, and not the least of which was Kirsten Mannon, who by the end of the year was averaging double digits. You're putting up on average just under 33 points per game this year. Kendra Waldron, the only player in double figures. Can you find that second consistent score? How big of a difference would that make?
Oh, that would be huge. We have some girls flirting with that. Avery Knieven. She's been right there. Kendra Boer has been our other girl that's right there. She's been getting a lot of rebounds, had a good game last night. So we're expecting big things out of her the rest of the year. And she's going to be creeping up to, 7-8 points a game. And hopefully she'll keep, building that way up. So
let's go ahead and get the scout on Tinora. Nova Oakley is just a standout and one of the most humble kids that I've had the chance to put a microphone in for. As a matter of fact, she's closing in on 1,000 career points. Let's start there. What's the scout? How do you slow her down?
Well, we just got to play consistent team defense on her. Great shooter. Same way with the Blanchard girl. They got a couple other girls that are some good offensive threats. And we just got to play great team defense. And then we got to slow the game down. We can't get in the track meet. And that's one of the things I'm going to push tonight in practice. We got to slow it down. We got to take high percentage shots and not throw the ball around. We had 11 turnovers last night. Very good, I thought. So hopefully we'll be able to keep it under 15 tomorrow night, and we'll go from there.
They also have size. As a matter of fact, ironically, if you look at their roster, Julia Durpee is listed as a point guard, a guard, and a forward, and she's 6'2". Might as well put all 5 positions down. But what type of challenge does that present to have that type of size on the perimeter?
Well, we played against a girl last night at Fort Jennings at 6'2", sort of a good hefty girl, and she can move. So I think we'll be able to do. Kendra did a nice job. Avery even did a great job. So we're doing some things that hopefully they can work together on that. But we can't let her go off for 20 inside. So
if I'm hearing you right, you want the salsa mild tonight. It can't be spicy.
I want spicy when it comes down to defense. I want to get in your face, and let's bring it. I want to. I'm excited about the game already, and I just hope the girls can step up and respond.
Nothing left to do but tip this one off. We're going to take a quick timeout. Our player profile. We'll see how much voice she has left. We know that she's got a lot to put on the court, but in a rare moment of laryngitis, she's going to gut it out and do our player profile. Kendra Waldron.
Yes, she'll do well.
We expect nothing less. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV Sports. Those teams across the river about to tip things off. Etiquette says ladies first, so they will. The hangar is the location as Ayersville welcomes, we'll call them arch rival, Tinora, and hoping to make a statement this evening. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us, also thanking our pregame sponsor, EstillChevrolet.com. Or you can check them out. They're also live and in person on North Clinton Street in downtown Defiance. Kendra Waldron joining us as our player profile. You probably saw those bright blue eyes and big smile during volleyball. Now it's basketball time. A little hoarse, but you're going to gut this one through, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully?
Yeah.
No hope about it. She will go ahead and gut it out for us. All right, so let's talk a little bit about last year into this year.
Yeah.
Different roster,
for sure.
Senior-dominated roster last year. And as a sophomore, I don't want to say you didn't have to worry too much, but at the same time, the complexion of the team was different.
Yeah.
This year, you're a junior. You're going to love those players forever, but they're now graduated in the stands as they watch.
Yeah.
What did the coaching staff tell you they wanted your role to be this season?
Not to compare myself to last year, but they kind of said something about being an Allie Schindler, and nobody can live up to her, but I can try my best. I kind of just have to be sort of a leader. I know that's a new role for me, so I did have to learn a little bit. But I honestly think that this team that we have now, like, we're all a leader together. Like, we all work very well together. We all communicate well, so, yeah.
So any particular area, because you can be a leader by example, but sometimes you need to speak, be a vocal leader.
Yeah.
Which are you?
I try to be as vocal as I can. Obviously, yesterday I didn't have a voice, so I could not be very vocal yesterday. But I try to be as vocal as I can as much as possible. But I'm also supposed to be a leader in practice. Like, it's not as vocal, but try to use my abilities as to represent for other people. So.
What were you working on during the off season to make yourself a better basketball player coming into this year?
Not just like ability wise, but team bonding. We have camps that we go to. We have Tuesday night leagues that we go to that help us bond with each other and that help us communicate well as a team, because coming in with the new team, we have to get used to each other and get used to playing with each other, and that's hard. So just getting used to where we are going to be on the court at a certain time.
What's this team's strength right now? What are you most impressed with?
Our bond, honestly, because everyone gets along. Everyone knows each other, even though we might not play as well as we did last year because they've played with each other their entire lives. But we're just getting used to it. But we all really, really get along well. So
let's go ahead and preview tonight's opponent, Tinora. Come in. Again, a lot like Ayersville, maybe not the deepest, but a very talented team.
Yes.
What's the scout on them?
We really have to be aggressive. We know what we're coming into, but we also don't know what we're coming into. We can't just expect something and then get blindsided and have something else happen. So we have to expect the unexpected.
With that said, we know what to expect with regard to the likes of Aowen Blanchard, obviously Durfee, and not the least of which, Nova Oakley, who's closing in on 1,000 career points. Coach tells me you're going to draw her. What's the key to slowing her down?
Slowing her down I wouldn't say slowing her down. I would say keeping up with her.
Okay.
Because even though, go ahead.
Let me rephrase that then.
Yes.
What's the key to defending her?
Defending her. She's a three-point shooter. She can drive. So honestly, just being as aggressive as I can, and I know my team will be as aggressive as they can. So, just staying with her.
Getting her jersey.
Yes.
What does Ayersville need to do to win tonight?
Like I said, be aggressive, and like I said, play as a team. But we have to finish. A lot of our games we don't finish, and a lot of our games we have kind of came into the second half kind of iffy and not playing our best, but we have to stick with it, and we have to improve our intensity as they improve their intensity.
4 full quarters. Best of luck to you.
4 full quarters. Thank you.
Kendra Waldron, our player profile. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back with more of the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
Affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the hangar, we had an injured player, which has delayed this game somewhat. They're only playing 2 quarters of the JV. So there's a minute 23 still left to go, and then they're going to tack on 15 in between this one and the varsity contest, which means everybody is in luck because that gives us a little extra time to break down the rest of our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Check them out online at drivebobestil.com. Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Northwest State Community College, your key to great career opportunities, begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or call 419-267-1320 today. Let's go ahead and start with the host Pilots. Again, they enter tonight's contest at 4-13 overall, 1-4 in the Green Meadows Conference. Look, it's no secret that Tinora doesn't have one. They don't just have 2. They have 3 very good three-point shooters in Julia Durfee, Eowyn Blanchard, and Nova Oakley. So instead of picking your poison, you're going to have to party at the Arc. Claire, you're going to have to extend that defense, make somebody prove that they need more than one defender, because otherwise, if all 3 of those start feeling good, this game is going to get out of hand quick.
Well, and that's what makes it so tough is they can skip past, they can spread themselves out around the three-point line, and on any given night, any or all 3 of them can really get after it. You mentioned it earlier. Nova Oakley hit 1,000
there you go.
Point milestone.
Add one more zero.
Earlier this week. 20 points in that one. And then look at Eowyn Blanchard. She can also drain it from 3. Julia Durfee had 4 made 3-pointers in that game earlier this week against Montpelier. So really, you got to guard everybody. You got to get a hand in their face, but you also have to be ready to move.
Julia Durfee is coming off a season-high 16 in that win against Montpelier. So it's not just a one-trick pony. They have some depth. Then, number 2, make the salsa mild. They are averaging, they being Ayersville, they're just not getting the offense that they had a season ago. 32.5 points. It is what it is. What's the old Pat Riley phrase when he went from coaching the Lakers with all that finesse talent to coaching the Knicks, who are big brutes? You coach what you got. And right now, this is an Ayersville team that's averaging 32.5 points. They're giving up 43, and they are turning the ball over nearly 19 times per game. If they get into a track meet, this one will be over early. Make the salsa mild. The tempo, not the rhythm, but the tempo for Ayersville needs to be slower.
And that will hopefully help them limit turnovers, at least turnovers in transition, because when you kind of get sped up and you're out of your comfort zone, you're pushing the ball up the floor, you force things. You see that open pass, but you pass it a split second too late or just behind your teammate, and that's where they could really get into trouble tonight against Tinora.
Those are the keys to the game for the host Pilots. On the flip side, for the visiting Tinora Rams, as the buzzer sounds, the 2-quarter JV game is now in the books. They're going to put another 15 minutes up on the clock, and we will get ready for varsity basketball. The Rams at 9-8 overall, 3-2 in the GMC. This is a GMC matchup, so again, a win here doubles them up. Keeps them within arm's reach with only one more conference game left on the schedule, but potentially a spot to finish in second place. For the Rams, again, Tinora, you're going to have to throw Kendra Waldron a welcome wagon party. She is going to be face guarded. She is going to be doubled. She is going to have everybody in a green jersey depending on where she's at on the court, whether she's dribble driving, whether she's cutting through the lane, whether she's coming off a screen. Again, Coach Thiel told me it shouldn't take too long for every one of our players to guard her for at least a few seconds. Kendra Waldron is going to draw a lot of company tonight.
All week preparing for this game, you know they said, hey, no matter what's going on, know where number 4 is. Who knows if we could even see a box and one on her tonight, depending on what she does. Because even with all of that attention and the game plan to shut her down and focus on her, I still imagine we'll see some things out of the young lady tonight.
She has got, I don't know what the intangible is. You and I have talked about it before. And again, I'm not going to sit here and overplay the hand or get overly dramatic. But you and I have talked about it. You and I have been around the block maybe a couple of times. You know when you see elite athletes. Mm-hmm. And then there's the elite athlete that has the tremendous work ethic. That is somebody that's going to be playing D1 sports, regardless of whether it's men's or women's, whether it's a winter, a summer, or a fall sport. But then there is that extra intangible, that will to win, the drive that, let's just be honest, probably all but maybe 2 or 3% of athletes at any level actually have. That is what Kendra Waldron has. With that said, I've never seen one player beat a team of 5 playing in sync. The key for Kendra Waldron tonight is, even if it's not there, you can't force it if it isn't.
And that's going to be kind of a learning point, too. Not that she would force it, but it's hard not to when you kind of feel like you have the weight of the town, the team on your shoulders. And she is such a competitor. She knows that if she tries hard enough, she'll find a way to get it done. But when it's 5-on-1, you got to look elsewhere. So it'll be a challenge tonight for her because she is the focus defensively for Tinora. They're going to be
used to it. She is used to it. And again, taking a look at the teams on the court. Now, again, you see Tinora there, who has just come out of the locker room. They were thinking they were going to get a 15-minute shoot-around. They will. But they just put 6 minutes up on the clock for the juniors to play. I don't know if we can get a camera shot, if Tristan can call for one of the guys to see the youth players on the court right now. But guess who's officiating the game with these probably, 5- and 6-year-olds or 5th and 6th graders? It's the varsity for Tinora. So that gives you a little insight as to what the players are doing. Now, they'll get locked in here in about another 3 minutes and 16 seconds. I don't know if our guys, Ryan, maybe tap Tristan on the shoulder. There we go. There's the youth league, and the varsity players are being the officials in this one, and that includes the starters. So that gives you a little idea.
And just fun for the young gals, too, where, hey, we're on the big stage. We're on the high school basketball court, and the high school basketball players are officiating. They're running down the court with us. They're cheering us on. What a fun night for them in the big rivalry evening outing as well.
And what's going to happen is, in probably another 12 to 13 years, these youngsters are going to be varsity players, and they're going to remember that they were that little girl at one point in time. That's how you build a good feeder system. But again, just wanted to give you a little bit of a flavor as to what's happening in between the JV and the varsity contests tonight. Let's get back to our keys to the game by Northwest State Community College. If we can throw Tinora's back up. Again, throw Kendra Waldron a welcome wagon party. Then on the back side of it, if the house is a rockin', don't come a knockin'. They want to get out and make this an absolute track meet, they being Tinora, whether that comes off of a miss or a make. And also count on this. Coach Andrew Field gave me a little bit of a heads up at the end of practice yesterday. If they make, they will press. They want to run Ayersville out of their own gym in the first 8 minutes.
And that's exactly what they need to do, to just really kind of shut the door and close it early, because if they can keep the tempo, push it up, and score some quick buckets, it wears on you not only on the scoreboard, but a little bit mentally, too.
Absolutely.
Where you just feel like it's too big of a hill to climb. And so if they can do that early, this could be a quick one.
Final minute and 22 seconds of the youth game is taking place here as our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is still in the midst of the thick of things. We have our starting lineups. A little bit of a late arriving crowd for an early varsity, although I will probably say this, most of the players, certainly the coaches, I think everybody doesn't mind that this is going to tip about 30 minutes to possibly even a full hour earlier than it normally will. You get that antsiness about you when you're having to sit, when you're having to watch. And both these teams, we've talked about this before, this used to be a blood rivalry. It is a healthy rivalry now. There is a lot of respect. You heard both our player profiles, both of our coaches talk about the respect they have for each other on that team across the river moniker. But make no mistake about it, they want to beat each other. They want bragging rights for the next year.
You love a good, clean rivalry. You know, when it gets kind of a little too bloody, if you will, that gets dangerous. You don't love to see that. But when it's something like this where they do have such respect for either side,
yes,
it's just such a fun community pride event where it's something you can hang your hat on for the rest of the year, or at least until the spring sports season when you face off in baseball or softball or whatever it might be. But it's just fun to see both communities come out full force.
We are missing the paper towels and the hand sanitizer, but Claire summed it up accurately when she said good, clean rivalry. So buzzer sounds, and the Youth League getting a well-deserved round of applause. And now 15 minutes are put up on the scoreboard clock as it is time to lock in. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our Baker Schindler starting lineups. Don't you go anywhere. Those teams across the river. It is the Maumee River rivalry. Tinora at Ayersville. And you're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at the hangar, the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. We are just under 13 minutes. It will be time for basketball. The arch rivals, they refer to each other as that team across the river. We're calling it, whether it be official or unofficially, the Maumee River rivalry, or just plain river rivalry. The host Pilots at 4-13 overall, 1-3 in conference play, taking on the Tinora Rams, 9-8 and 3-2 respectively. What a difference a season makes. These two teams a year ago, Ayersville was just taking it to everybody that they played. They finished 22-4 and 7-0 in the Green Meadows Conference. They were the champions last year. Their final ranking, they dropped out of the top 10 after losing in the district championship, but they still finished 13th in the state. Last season, Tinora was a solid ball club, graduating in particular point guard Carly Oakley, but they have made up the difference by committee this season. Last year the Rams were 15-10 overall, 5-2 in the GMC, and they would love to not only pick up the win against their arch rival, but again, remember, this also counts in the conference standings. They want to be 4-2 by the end of the evening. Time for your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's start with the visiting Rams of Tinora. And no real surprises. Pretty much the same starting lineup as our very first broadcast for Tinora back before Christmas at the DPT Classic. At the point, it will be the future Bluffton University, we think, stretch forward. But right now at 5'11", Julia Durfee is the point guard, and she has been nothing short of spectacular. Durfee on the season averaging 8 points, 6 boards, 2 assists per ball game, and again coming off a season-high 16 in that win on Monday night against Montpelier. At the off guard, it will be Eowyn Blanchard. Blanchard standing in at 5'6", a senior. She will also run the point if Durfee is catching a breather on the bench. She's averaging double digits at 10 points per ball game, pulling down 4 boards per contest. On the swing, our player profile, Miss Everything, Nova Oakley. Oakley, a 5'6" senior, and again, congratulations to Blue Eyes as she became a 1,000-point scorer Monday night against Montpelier. They needed every one of those points. They won 58-50. I said, did you know how many points you needed going into the game? She said 20. Well, guess how many she got? Right on the money.
Well, and that can always be so daunting when you know you kind of have that countdown, that big milestone, and 20 is a lot of points. And so kudos to her for not only being able to do that, but not letting it affect the rest of her game and helping the team to that victory. I mean, that's a night she'll always remember.
Rounding out the starters, it will be Christina Meyer. Meyer, a 5'8" junior. She's a guard/forward. Again, Meyer, 4 points per contest, but 4 boards. She just does all the little things exceptionally well. Just one of those that you look down at her box at the end of a game and go, really? Didn't realize that. I don't want to say an anonymous voice in the chorus, but she is one of those key players that you absolutely love to have. And then in the middle, Tatum Krebs. Krebs, the standout volleyball player, the 6'2" junior. She is a true center, and she is a tough cover, especially with Addison Zartman out for Ayersville. We'll wait and see how they try to defend her. Again, averaging 4 points, 5 boards. She's also shooting 40% from the floor, but again, Claire, a lot of that offense comes from garbage putbacks. She's a tough matchup.
Yeah, which is how it should be when you're that tall in this league. You know, you're able to get good position, and that's going to be kind of key for Ayersville, is to steal her off and make her commit the over-the-back fouls and violations and try and get her in foul trouble. On
the flip side, for the host Ayersville Pilots, he doesn't have a lot left, but basically the core 5 will be taking on the Rams this evening. At the point, it will be Allison Eldridge, the 5'7" junior. Eldridge averaging 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist per contest. At the off guard, Alexa Grieve, the 5'7" junior. Grieve averaging 2 points and 2.5 boards per contest. The piston that sparks the engine will be at the swing, Kendra Waldron. Waldron, the 5'8" junior. The only player averaging double figures for head coach Tim Nicely and company. 10.2 points, 4.1 boards. How about this, though, Clara? Almost 4 steals per ball game. She is gritty at the defensive end.
Well, and that's what you want to see, too. I mean, you love to see points, you love to see rebounds, but it's that extra aggressiveness where you see the passing lanes, you penetrate them, and a lot of times it turns into a good look on offense.
Well, for a team that's turning it over almost 20 times per game, every steal, every extra possession that you can manage to garner is going to be critical for the Pilots. The front court as follows. Avery Knieven, the 5'8" sophomore. Knieven has really come into her own, especially lately. She's averaging 7.5 points, 5.5 rebounds per contest. And in the middle, it's going to be fun to watch this freshman grow up over the next 3.5 seasons. Kendall Boer. Boer, a cousin of Kendra Waldron, 6 foot and a freshman. She averages just under 6 points, but nearly 7 rebounds per contest. Look, if you are Ayersville, I talked to Tim Nicely when I stopped out at their practice earlier this week. He goes, we've got nothing to lose. He goes, this isn't even like playing with house money. He goes, we just cannot walk into this thinking anything other than this is our court, we're going to defend it, and we're going to throw everything we have at you. And at the very least, if you win, you're going to have to earn it.
And that's a good mindset to have, especially when you come off of such a successful season, a lot of turnover due to graduation, and then you've got some younger players that are stepping up and they're still in that learning stage. Obviously, you've got Kendra Waldron, who played a ton last year, started, is a huge part of this team. But when looking at Kendall Boer, I mean, as a freshman, she's not, 6 points or 7.6 boards. Next year, I'd be shocked if she weren't close to averaging a double-double.
Absolutely.
And it's games like this that are really going to set her up to be successful for the next 3 years.
Well, and you talk about baptism by fire, and I know that sounds so cliche-ish, but in all honesty, there is no substitute for experience. And sometimes you have to get your teeth kicked in to realize this is what it takes, but also find the next level for yourself as well. And it's tough, but how many times have you talked to an athlete who maybe struggled early, whether it be individually or team-wise, but then 2-3 seasons later said, you know what, that was the best thing for us?
It's what builds character. You know, you've been through the tough time. You hate to lose, and you experience that, and so now you're better for it. We talked a little bit about Kendra Waldron, how she likes to win, or she hates to lose more than she likes to win. Obviously everybody likes to win, but when you hate to lose, that kind of kicks it to another gear in your off season and in those, summer practices where you're conditioning and you're getting ready for the upcoming basketball season. And it's things like tonight that regardless of which way it goes, they're going to do their darndest to try their hardest to defend their home court.
Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Companies, proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we will be getting close to tip-off. Ayersville, 4-13 overall, 1-4 in the Green Meadows Conference. Tinora, 9-8, 3-2. Somebody will earn bragging rights for the next year. Stick around. Find out with us. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We are putting a nice, neat bow on it as we are getting set for tip-off. It is the River Rivalry. Tinora at Ayersville. Etiquette says ladies first, so they will. Tonight, We'll be back on the air tomorrow evening over at the Emerald. That's Tenora's gym. We're trying to give that the nickname that it deserved for the boys contest, and we anticipate that one being a great matchup as well. We've given you the starting lineups. We've given you the keys. The balls are in the racks. The warm-ups are finished. The colors being unfurled in the, I believe it's the northeast corner of the gym.
Yes.
Okay. And we're getting set for the national anthem. Yes, from where you're seeing is our vantage point. And the Star Spangled Banner, proudly sponsored by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families. If you would like to connect with them to learn more about resources that might be available to you, log on to defiance-county.com/Veterans Office, defiance-county.com/Veterans Office, or give them a call at 419-782-6861. That's 419-782-6861. Crowd starting to amp their way up in this one. They want to see some basketball. We are about roughly 60 seconds away from doing so.
On behalf of the Board of Education, Administration, and Athletic Department of Ayersville High School,
And I believe this is the public address announcer, Bob Fishpaw, asking everyone to rise to their feet.
The student athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and Ayersville local schools. You are requested to treat them with respect and keeping with the ideals of
Giving the standard Ohio High School Athletic Association speech about good sportsmanship.
To honor America and respect for all who have served this great country.
And now we are getting ready for the national anthem, brought to you again by the Defiance County Veterans Office, courtesy of the Ayersville High School Pep Band. Star Spangled Banner in the books, courtesy of the Ayersville Pep Band. The officials this evening, Dean Rose III, Max Smeltzer, and Dan Carnahan. As you see Tinora in their traveling, we'll call them emerald green uniforms. I'm trying to make that stick.
I'm full supporting, full support.
You'll get a taste of it tomorrow night. I'll be very curious to what your reaction will be, but it is a very sharp gymnasium.
Yeah.
Again, emerald green uniforms with the white lettering and numerals. Ayersville, as usual, in their home whites with the powder blue lettering and numerals with the black trim. And a show of class by Tenora's. After they are introduced individually, they go over and shake each official's hand, and then the visiting coach, Tim Nicely, reciprocating with the same class by coming out and meeting. I know some coaches don't like it. They're like, we are ready to play. We're trying to get locked in ourselves, but at this level,
at this age, it's
absolutely
nice to really promote good sportsmanship.
Absolutely.
Because the majority of high school players don't go on to play in college or to be professional. This is just character building and, ensuring they become good people.
The lights are down. They're going to get the two strobes going. Cue up Thunderstruck.
They do such a good job with
They
starting
do.
lineups here. They've got the younger kids and some of the high school peers in the corner.
Well, they form that tunnel. Kendra Waldron being the first to be introduced. And it's waiting for her to go ahead and chuck that T-shirt into the crowd. We talked about it, though. Those young youth players that got those 6 minutes in between games, now they're lining up that tunnel. This is the stuff that every athlete I've talked to when I do a player profile says, I remember when I was that little girl.
These are the all-stars to them. This may as well be an NBA game, or WNBA game, I should say. Except it's even better because, that's Susie's older sister or Whitney's cousin.
Well, and the ticket prices are much cheaper.
That too. A little more affordable.
Well, I won't get too much into the WNBA weeds, but that huge trade earlier this week regarding Kelsey Plum, the three-way trade, that is a league that is now finally gaining some footing.
Rightfully so. And I mean, even, back to like Jackie Styles days.
Oh, that's going way back.
I know. That's who I grew up watching, though.
Same here.
So it's stuff like that where there weren't that many eyeballs on it. And so now it's so fun to see what just the last few years have done to the game.
You mentioned Jackie Styles. She was called the female Jordan of her time. Tremendous ball player. Do we have one of those on our court tonight? We'll wait and see. Boer in the center circle for Ayersville. Durfee for Tinora. It was kind of a wash, but the Pilots track it down. Here is where patience is going to be key, and this is what I thought we would see. This is going to be a 1-2-2, and immediately facing it down, unforced turnover. They averaged 19 a game, and that one was a real cheapie. Durfee at 5'11" gives so many teams trouble because she's tall, but also has the handles. And immediately coming out, Eowyn Blanchard drains one from beyond the arc. Our first Premier Bank three-pointer of the evening.
We mentioned she'd be powerful beyond the arc. One of three major weapons for Tinora, and she starts it out strong.
Another turnover. Christina Meyer going coast to coast, and Waldron, again, baring her teeth, saying, "Nuh-uh, you're going to have to earn this one." First team foul, first on the Pilot Junior. Meyer will head to the charity stripe. Just a 36% free throw shooter, 20 out of 55 on this season. First is up, and the banks are open.
Good to know. So
on a
early
Thursday
in the game.
night, my goodness. Hey, you don't get style points. They count just the same, right?
Absolutely.
See if she can repeat that feat. This one a little long, 1 out of 2. Waldron tracks it down. So 4-0. And look at this. Here comes the press we talked about, even off the miss. Tinora laying on the pressure thick. A little bit of a love tap in the back of Boer, a wraparound pass, and some good sportsmanship as Tinora helps up Avery Knieven. But it's going to be out of bounds off the Pilots.
And you mentioned it. The Rams plan to full court press after a make, the whole team. But you saw a couple of gals pressing after a miss where it's like, hey, we're up here. We may as well trap quick. What harm could it do?
Shot up, no good. Waldron pulls it down.
Good ball movement.
And swish at the other end. Peyton Ensign, one of the future players on this team, a freshman, breaks the scoreboard first for the Pilots. Peyton Ensign, look at that. Step back, Nova Oakley. She'll take that shot again. And a heads-up rebound by Blanchard. Oakley wanting to test the waters. Nobody picks her up, tries to muscle up, no good. They'll kick it back out. Emma Bailey and jump ball.
I think they're going to call a foul.
They're going to call a foul on Oakley.
She had the clean jump, but then as soon as they, turned, hit an arm.
Still coming out in that press. It looks like a 2-2-1 right now. Waldron's got to attack it. They're flirting with 10. Oh, nice crossover. Still going. Boy, she forces up a tough baseline one-hander. And it is one and done with a nice board by Blanchard. Dunphy, Oakley. Great crossover. Got the freshman to bite, but that's great help defense by Ensign. And Tinora will back it out. Just as I say that, that ball might have been partially blocked. It was, and out of bounds. But again, that gives you a feel for the green light that the 3 guards for Tinora have, because Awen Blanchard didn't hesitate a second.
Not at all. Well, and then especially if it pops out of bounds like that, it's like, oh, no, no harm. We're going to full court press again.
And they do, as Hallstatt takes a seat on the bench. Checking in, Lillian York, I believe that's number 20. Waldron, boy, had a lane for a second, but she was cut off by Emma Bailey. And ball out of bounds, and that is the 4th turnover of the quarter for Ayersville. Well, Tinora slowing things down a little bit after jumping out to a 4-0 lead. Dunphy being dogged by Waldron. Ensign, the freshman on the senior Oakley, she picks up her dribble. Boy, they're really laying off Christina Meyer. Ball tapped back. You just don't see any panic on this Tinora team. Spotting up. Feet weren't quite underneath her. Meyer almost banked it in. Ball being tapped around, and I think we're going to have a foul on, take your pick, which white jersey. It's going to be Boer. Her first, team foul number 2.
Tinora just doing such a good job crashing the boards on offense. They've had, I think, every possession. If they haven't scored, they've had at least one offensive board.
Durfee at the stripe, a little long on her first. Julia taking her time, showing some disgust with herself. She's just a 34% free throw shooter. If there's one area that is a chink in the armor for the Rams, it is the charity stripe. But there's another turnover, the 5th of the quarter, and a long 3 by Oakley off the far side of the iron. Nice board. Blanchard, 18-footer. That's too short for her. Durfee, she'll set up for 3. You could tell that one was floating on her just a bit. 3 good looks, but they can't come away with anything. Waldron keeping her dribble. Check that. She's got it now. Excuse me. And on the drive, she hits the deck hard. One and done. Oakley with the rebound. They're putting Ensign on her. Oakley coast to coast, a little hard off the square. And we're going to have a foul, and I believe this is going against Meyer. Yep, Meyer picks up her first, 2nd team foul. Claire, I don't think you argue. You're not complaining if you're head coach Andrew Thiel about the looks that Tenora's getting, are you? They're just not falling.
No, and they're going to. I mean, with this team. And again, the fact that they are, I mean, look, they're hustling. You had Oakley there, just tip it away, almost got a steal, got out of bounds instead. But the shots they are throwing up, maybe it's not the best 3-point look, but they're getting the offensive board and getting an opportunity for the putback. So there's not much more you could ask for other than, finishing at the rim, but that comes and goes.
Waldron inbounds. They'll get it right back to her. Posting up Knieven, low blocks. That's good ball movement, and that was a good look, but Knieven has it go around the world, and we've got a whistle underneath. Tatum Krebs is about to check in. Very tall 6'2" center. And heading to the bench, Emma Bailey. Waldron inbounds. It goes through Boer's fingertips. Loose ball. Nobody between. That comes right straight down. I was going to say nobody between Meyer and the basket. A defender ran past her, and I think it just took her concentration. Yep. Boy, and if you're Tinora and Andrew Thiel wanted a foul there, he can't believe that one wasn't called. He is very low-key. When he's upset, you literally won't know it. But here comes that 1-2-1-1 press now. They're mixing it up. They've shown 3 different styles. Boer with a rare post touch. Tatum Krebs is just too tough.
Yeah. She's nice and tall. She knows how to play it. She didn't do a full swat.
Nope.
I mean, she's quite the volleyball player as well. Didn't need to, just a little tip, and that's all she needed.
Oakley on the drive, forces it up, but hits the deck. Meyer with the board. Durfee will say, let's slow it down and run our pattern offense. Krebs, high blocks. Well, she didn't make a move. Durfee, nice crossover. That's great help defense Was that Allison Eldridge? And we've got a whistle. Actually, it was Allison Eldridge. She and Knieven doing a good job. And just as I'm praising their defense, Kendall Boers just picked up her second. And that is Dunphy. On the three. No, check that. Was that Oakley? It was Nova Oakley. I'm going to be honest with you. It's such a unique name.
Yeah.
I love the car. But Nova just has a little panache to it, doesn't it? A little sophistication.
Yeah.
Oh, great ball movement by the Pilots. And yet nobody wanted the shot. Knieven will take a 15-footer, and good luck getting it away from Tatum Krabs.
Yeah, man, she just posts up, and she's ready to rock rebound-wise.
Meyer on the drive. They're letting them play. Boer falling down and throws it to the first row. The boys will be in action tomorrow night, but they have no eligibility this evening. And that will be the 6th Ayersville turnover of the quarter. And by my count, none for Tinora.
No. They may have lost a jump ball, but that was the extent. No unforced errors.
Well, now, wait a minute. The Pilots are bringing that ball up, and the officials are talking to each other saying, no, this should be Tinora ball. I was about to rescind that turnover, but the officials got it right. Low-scoring game as we're at the 2.5-minute mark. Tinora looked like they were about to just explode.
Yeah,
4 quick points.
Blow the roof off.
Well, credit Ayersville. Their defense has been salty. Oh, jump pass. That's a travel. Eowyn Blanchard knows it. Amelia Coy will check in for the Rams as Meyer will take a seat on the bench. But again, full court pressure. Knieven picks up her dribble. Waldron, bullet pass. Nice cut by the freshman, and Ensign just got a little ahead of herself. That is turnover number 7.
And if you're Coach Nicely, that's one you're okay with. You know, that was a good look, a nice sharp pass. It just got away from her. It's the other kind of very errant passes that hurt you.
That was a knuckleball 3 thrown up by Coy. Nothing doing. Look at her hustle. She's into the Ayersville bench. But she will remain a Ram player, as that will be – technically that won't be a turnover, will it? I mean, it was a missed shot, and the ball out of bounds would be a dead ball
Nobody
rebound.
Had possession, yeah.
Yeah, dead ball board. Under 2 minutes left to go, and if somebody would have told you that Ayersville would only have 2 points in the quarter, yet still be in this ball game, you probably wouldn't have believed them, would you?
Not with the way Tinora has been playing lately. They are able to put up some points.
The salsa has definitely been mild for Ayersville in this first quarter. The problem is they've only dipped 1 chip, down 8-2. Waldron will inbound. What are we running, the old Hoosiers picket fence? First cutter through, nothing doing. Ensign, nice dribble, nice drive, nice shot by the freshman. She has both of the Pilots' baskets, and look at this, it's 8-4. Oh, a little too much indecision, and then a dragging of the foot by Coy, and that will be the first official Tinora turnover in the fourth. Or is it their second? Stand corrected. I'll hand this over to you if you would like to keep
No,
it.
that's okay.
No, dead serious. I'm keeping points and fouls, so please have at. Inbounds against the pressure. Hallstead, and that's going to be a reach-in on Nova.
That was a tight one, though. I mean, she did a good job kind of picking the pocket a little bit.
Nova second, team foul number 5. But to the free throw line, Kaylin Hallstead will shoot a pair. Again, the free throw line has been anything but for Ayersville this season as she misses her first. She was a 50% free throw shooter before that one, and the sample size was small, just 3 out of 6. She'll get another, trying to pull the Pilots to within 3. Second is on the way, nothing doing. And a good, strong two-handed rebound by Emma Bailey. Oh, look at Blanchard, stutter steps, nice drive, nice ditch. Meyer almost banked in another 3. Look at the hustle. Who's that off of?
I think Ayersville.
It is. And give the officials credit because the baseline official and the near side official talked it over before the call was made.
And heads-up play by Durfee. She kind of went for it and then held back because she realized that White was the last to touch.
Boy, walking the tightrope in the far corner. Nice timeout by Tim Nicely off the Blanchard missed free throw. Is this a 30-second? I believe it is. And if it is, it is. We will keep it here with exactly 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. All right, I don't know that you can say, we talked about this last time you were here, Claire, about the boys, but I think it holds true for no matter what team you're talking about. There is a difference between tempo and rhythm. You can want a fast tempo and play in rhythm. You can want a slow tempo and play in rhythm, or you can want both and not play in rhythm. I'm going to ask you, 8-4 right now with 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. Do we have either so far in the early going?
It felt like we might at the very beginning with Tinora. They had that fast, up-pace tempo. They hit a three right away, picked them up full court. Kind of chaos ensued for Ayersville. But since those first couple of minutes, it really has been kind of jumbly.
Ayersville, I think that's a testimony to Ayersville's defense. They have mucked this game up. And just as we say that, check that, Aowen Blanchard with the steal and the breakaway layup. And Blanchard now with 5 on the early going to make it a 6-point lead. And another turnover. Oh, I like the fact that you're on top of that.
Barely.
And another for Ayersville. I'll take care of that one for you. That's 10 now in the first quarter. My goodness. That's half of their per-game average. Meyer.
And with the way Tinora plays, though, that's not super – I mean, it's not ideal, but not that surprising with the full-court press and just how aggressive they are defensively.
Meyer, nice drive off the feed in the post, and Knieven with the block and the rebound. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. They've got time. Great look. Missed Bunny. Durfee with the rebound, and she won't get a shot off as we have come to the end of a somewhat helter-skelter first quarter of action at the hangar. It is the River rivalry. The Rams lead the Pilots 10-4. We'll take a 60-second Mark Moats Ford timeout. Mark Moats Ford, serving the area since 1916. Check out their great selection of vehicles online at markmoatsford.com. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the hangar, second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. Visiting Tinora, leading host Ayersville 10-4. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Dow. It is the River rivalry. Coming into tonight's ball game, again, two teams at opposite ends of the spectrum. As Tinora 9-8 overall, 3-2 in the GMC. Ayersville, it's been a tough season, 4-13, 1-4. As the shot is up, nothing doing, and again, you're not going to get the ball away from Tatum Krebs.
No, she can just hold it right on up there.
Yes.
Nobody can reach.
In between the circles, Blanchard reverses it to Durfee. Nice job posting up by Bailey in the low block. She'll kick it up top. Meyer for 3. And look at Durfee, your 5'11 point guard, hustle down the board. Krebs from the elbow. Halfway down, it kicks out. Durfee with another rebound. That is just great hustle. Julia Durfee with her first basket from the floor. Give her 3, and it's an 8-point Tinora lead.
Just textbook crash in the board. She's out on the arc, and then she just storms right in and snags it.
Well, they get the ball in the high blocks, but Knieven dropped the ball down around her waist, and she's tied up. That will be technically a turnover on the jump ball. as the arrow points Tenora's way. 12-4. Durfee, as we mentioned, going to be playing her college ball at Bluffton University. Blanchard drives, dishes. Meyer is not gun shy, and this time it pays off. Another Premier Bank three-pointer. Digital banking features and convenient account options and hours. YourPremierBank.com. They're third as a team, and the score is starting to balloon just a bit. Waldron, who averages 10 a game. Count it, and one coming. I was about to say scoreless. Yeah, we see you, number 4. We see you. There's just a point where your best players have to decide, I'm going. I'm taking over, jump on my back, and I don't care if it's 1 against 5, I'm coming at you. And that's what Kendra Waldron, look at the look on that face. She is in beast mode right now.
She's locked in.
And she's a 61% free throw shooter. Connects on the three-point play. That is exactly what Ayersville needed. They're still down by 8. Oh, look at this, unchecked. That's a two-handed set shot, and it's a 3 for Amelia Coy. Wow.
They've had quite a few looks from long range, which is something that you don't want to let them do, and the fact that now they're starting to drop, it could get scary.
Another Premier Bank three-pointer drops as Tatum Krebs. I get it, 13. It was easy to reach over and literally snatch that ball away, but no official's going to let you do that.
No, and it's always tough when you're that tall because I'm not touching her. It's fine,
Exactly.
but that's why that rule exists, is trying to keep it a little fair.
Waldron will be the trigger woman on the baseline. Bullet pass to Knieven, right back to Kendra, but she's in the corner and Durfee on her. Boer, tough move baseline. Back up top, Knieven for 3. Almost got the roll. You know, we should have just started keeping a rebound statistic on Krebs.
Yeah.
She's going to have double digits tonight. 3 ball at the other end, and make one from one wing, try another. Probably not the shot that Andrew Thiel wanted from Amelia Coy. But you know what? She was feeling it.
Yeah.
What do we got? A 2-3 zone right now by the Rams. But with Durfee, and there's another turnover. I got that one. You know, whether you run her a box in 1, a 1-2-2, a 1-3-1, or even a 2-3, Durfee at 5'11" is taller than most guards, much less point guards. As Blanchard puts up a 3, and then look at that. She crashes and gets down low. A little bit of sass coming from, was that York? Durfee picks up her first. Tell you what, it's going to be fun. I'm going to keep an eye on Bluffton women's basketball starting next year because I think Julia Durfee has an incredibly high ceiling.
Well, and such a great ball handler, and with that height, if they can swing it, it would be great to have her play, the 2-3. But as we talked about earlier, I think they'll probably slide it more 3-4. But
Well, nice aggressive drive by Knieven. Take your pick on which green jersey rotated over. It's number 23. That's Nova. Check, that's 24, not 23. I was going to say if that was Oakley, that's her third. It's Emma Bailey's first. Avery Knieven, second leading scorer on the team. Looking for her first points of the evening. Knieven averages 7.5 per ball game. 66% free throw shooter. She has shot the most of any Pilot, and she drains her first. See if she can make 2 here. Cut the lead in half for Tinora. Second is on the way. Got them both.
And perfect. Nothing but net, both of them.
Her free throws don't have a lot of arch, and this is going to be a crossing the baseline, a little nonchalant by Durfee, and that's an unforced turnover. Wow. And that would just be, only the third? But again, that's one that, as a coach, if Andrew Thiel had hair, it would turn gray. And they give it right back on the inbounds. Oh, my goodness. I think maybe, just maybe, Caitlin Hallstead took her eye off the ball there. She was anticipating the defense closing out. Still waiting for, I'll say tempo, because I think you can't have rhythm without tempo, right? Tempo has to come first. This game just doesn't have it yet. Nice high-low attempt. Madison Spangler tried to go down low, but the ball was deflected. Boer kicks it back out. Open look for three. Allison Eldridge now in the books. And that is a mini 5-0 run. And a full timeout being taken by Tinora as the Pilots have trimmed the deficit to 6. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout, serving the Defiance community since 1916. County Road 424 and online at markmoatsford.com. 30-second break. Tinora still up by half a dozen. Pilots making a run. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Buzzer sounds. We are exactly halfway through quarter number 2 at the hangar. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Dow. Visiting Tinora, leading host Ayersville 18-12. It is the River Rivalry. Tinora lost last season at the Emerald, and they were really shut down, 33-25. They want a little payback. Nice dribble drive, 15-footer, not quite by Blanchard. Crashing the boards, Madison Spangler gets the rebound. She'll head to the charity stripe. Kendall Boer, the 6-foot starting center for the Pilots, has just picked up her third. I'm looking at the bench. There isn't much of one, but I don't see her coming out as the first free throw is up and good. She will come out. They'll go small. Hallstedt will check in. At the stripe. Second is on the way. Spangler makes them both. Spangler, 45% free throw shooter, 100. And here comes the 1-3-1. Again, Coach Thiel told me he was going to mix it up defensively tonight, and he has made good on his promise.
Definitely keeps any opponent on their toes.
But look at who's at the bottom. Durfee, your point guard at 5'11", and the outlet comes to her. He's just got talent this year. 20-12, lead is 8. Durfee thought about driving. Krebs, 1 foot beyond the elbow, sets a nice screen. Nobody picks up Blanchard. That play just happened in slow motion. Ayo and Blanchard just kept thinking somebody's going to pick me up, and they never did, so she just kept going.
Well, and Duffy did a nice job flaring out so that if her man did drop, she'd be wide open, but didn't need to kick it out.
Ensign with a long 3. One and done with the board pulled down by Coy on the weak side. And all of a sudden, it's a double-digit lead, and Tinora looking to add to it. Under 3 minutes left to go in the half. Nice, good, hard drive. Spangler on Waldron, and Waldron kind of got caught by one of her own teammates cutting through the screen. What was the call there? They called it a carry. Boy,
yeah.
Pilots drew a break there.
She kind of, it looked like she was hesitating a little bit, almost doing a head fake, and faked a little too much with her hand and got a little under it.
So under 2.5 left to go. Waldron on the move. Ooh, and tough foul going to be called against Spangler. But again, this is the type of grit we're used to seeing from Kendra Waldron. Put her head down and just go.
Yeah, in the first quarter, she had that tough fall. Not fall, but, put it up really strong. Didn't quite draw the contact. This time she did.
She's incredibly strong. She drains her first. Again, a 61% free throw shooter. She's 2 for 2 tonight. This to cut the deficit to 8. She cannot. Strong two-handed board by Spangler. Look at this. Your power forward running. And now they'll slow it down.
Yeah, if nobody's going to pick me up, I'll go till they do type of thing.
Look, the freshman Peyton Ensign is on Julia Durfee. And, again, a quick shot in the offense. I'm thinking you can get away with that up 9, but that shot will still be there later in the offense, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, tough move, muscled up, and that is brute strength by Madison Spangler. Give her 4, and it's now an 11-point Tinora lead, and they're still out in this 1-3-1. Waldron top of the key. Ensign hasn't been gun shy, and a nice weak side board pulled down by Grieve. They'll reset. Waldron, well, she's just drawing so many green jerseys.
Yeah.
Blanchard comes out. Look at the help. How did she split 3 Tinora defenders and get it to? She hurt herself. She's gimping coming down the court. She's hurt. She's not coming out, nor can they really afford to because there isn't much of a bench left. Battle for the ball. Ensign from her rear end tries to outlet. We're eventually going to have a jump ball, but I'm watching Kendra Waldron out at half court, and she is limping. She's looking over. Of course she's going to tell the bench, I'm okay.
Man. She's tough.
Extremely. She can't hide it, and hopefully it's just one of those things you can kind of play out. Yeah, she's pretty stationary right now.
Yeah.
And she's slow to that ball. She would have normally got it, and here comes Blanchard with the breakaway layup. That play right there told you everything you need to know.
Good news, only 40 seconds to halftime, and hopefully she'll.
She doesn't care, and she takes a beating, and there's a turnover. Bullet pass, down low, up, count it, and one coming for Madison Spangler. Let's see who they charge this one to. It's going to be Knieven her first. This will be the and one. And I'm looking at Coach Zartman. He's being called over, and Waldron is coming to the end of the bench. He's going to look her over as she completes the three-point play. And Waldron's being told right now to kind of try and walk it off, but we'll wait and see. We're keeping one eye on the tunnel. So Ayersville without their leading scorer right now and down by 14. They'll keep it off the deflection. Well, right now I think Knieven has got to be your go-to with Waldron, and that's going to be the 5th turnover. Coast to coast. Look who's here again, Madison Spangler. Have yourself a second quarter. She's got 9, and that is a huge wind in the sails of Tinora as both clubs will head to their respective locker rooms. But this time, instead of a 6-point lead, it's a 16-point lead, 31-15. We'll take a 2-minute break, a 2-minute timeout. We are back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at the hangar, it is the intermission. You can see the youth again out getting an enjoyable 8 minutes of basketball, getting their spotlight this evening. It is time for the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show, celebrating 70 years, helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. Also check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Down. It was a 6-point Tinora lead at the end of the first 8 minutes. At the end of the second 8 minutes, it's a 16-point lead, 31-15. And Claire, it really wasn't anything fancy. Tinora turning defense into offense.
Well, and just their shots finally dropping, too. Because, yes, they opened from long range with that first quick three from Nova Oakley. But then they were kind of quiet and struggling to get their long-range balls to drop in the first. But, man, did it open wide open in the second.
Balance, all but one starter scoring for Tinora. And how about this? 12 bench points.
Yeah.
Tenora's bench has almost the same output as Ayersville's starters. It is just too many weapons now for Tinora.
Gosh, Madison Spangler in that second quarter, 9 points for her, and just crashing the boards, making offense happen. We kind of joked a little like, oh, your four is bringing the ball up the floor, but man, if nobody stops her, she can make something happen.
Well, and again, we talked about this during the pregame. Ayersville averages 19 turnovers per contest. Right now at the half, they have 15. They've got to clean that up or this is going to be a long night.
Yeah, and the majority of those have been tough turnovers. It isn't like, it was a good look pass, a couple were, but a lot of them have just been a second too late, hitting the pass, the person's not there, goes out of bounds, just errant mistakes, kind of beating yourself a little bit.
On the flip side, the Rams have been boss with the ball, only 3 miscues.
And just sharp. I mean, they are so, it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that stamina throughout the whole contest because they are on you. As soon as the ball goes through the net or as soon as it's a dead ball, they pick you up full court.
They're picking up off of misses.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a high school team do that?
It's been a minute.
Let's go ahead and break down the unofficial scoring totals, but quick check of the scoreboard. I believe my book is accurate. Leading the charge, as we mentioned, Eowyn Blanchard. She had 5 in the first quarter, 4 in the second quarter. She's got 9. She is tied. Madison Spangler coming off the bench and again scoring at least 6 of those 9 points off of steals. Defense into offense. She also has 9. 4 points for Christina Meyer. Who's been uncharacteristically quiet is Nova Oakley. Oakley coming into this one averaging nearly 13 points per game. She has 3, as does Julia Durfee, who averages 8, and then 3 off the bench for Amelia Coy. On the flip side for the Pilots, only 3 starters in the scoring column. Kendra Waldron leading the charge with 6. She's got a pair from the free throw line and then a couple baskets from the floor. But again, she hurt herself late in the first half. It was very late. She stayed in the ball game, but she couldn't hide a very noticeable limp. Hopefully she'll be able to get a little bit of physical therapy. But, man, it's so tough because once you start to ice up, those things tend to get even worse. You know she'll play, but the question is, how much will she be able to give?
Well, and that's what's tough is because the competitor that's in her, she's going to fight to play, but there's still quite a bit of season left. Yep. And with as many injuries as they've had, you really want to keep her healthy. So it's kind of a catch-22 because if she has any say, we will see her probably for the next 16 minutes.
Absolutely. That's it as far as half a dozen. The rest, it drops off considerably. Freshman Peyton Ensign, I guess I wouldn't say quite considerably. She drained 2 shots from the floor in the first quarter. And then 3 points for Allison Eldridge and 2 free throws for Avery Knieven. That rounds out your scoring. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more of your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at the hangar, we're less than 90 seconds away from resuming second half action. We put a wrap on the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. I believe Claire has accounts in each one of those communities. Or online at midwestcommunity.org. Well, I'm looking at the Ayersville huddle. And look, you can't help but notice a little bit of a sag in the body language. But there's no such thing as a 16-point basket. Claire, what's your strategy? What's your message to your team if you coach Tim nicely?
Take a couple of deep breaths. You're not going to chip away at the 16-point deficit in the first 2 minutes, but take care of the ball. Do what you can to box out Tinora when they're on offense and just slow things down and stick to your game plan offensively.
On the flip side, if you're Andrew Theo, what are you telling your Tinora Rams?
Keep up the pace. Do exactly what you've been doing. You've almost fully shut the door on them. Make sure you spend this third quarter completely putting this game out of reach.
Final 10 seconds ticking off the scoreboard clock. We will get set for third quarter action. I'm watching Kendra Waldron. We don't have a camera shot of her right now, but she was still kind of working. I don't know if it was an ankle or a leg, but she was still kind of working it over a little bit, but seems to be showing good lateral movement playing defense. Durfee, with the ball movement around the perimeter, very sharp. And Durfee, heat check, little long. Not quite one and done, out of bounds, and it will be off of Ayersville. Durfee will inbound. Just 3 points on the evening. She averages 8. Lob pass down low, quickly back out. Oakley gets rid of it. Durfee on the drive, nice stop and pop. And she was just a little long. Oh, are those for us? Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. I thought she wanted her autograph. Thank you going out to the Ayersville Athletic Department for a bottle of water. Should have told them you wanted a slice of pizza, too. I'll do that next time. Good inside, outside. Knieven got a good look at 3, but it's just short. Blanchard actually out-muscles Oakley for it. And again, they pick up finally outside the arc here. Oakley, nice crossover. Drew the defense, then kicks it out. And a good look at 3 by Meyer, rims out. And Kendra Waldron kicking it into a second gear. But now she's picked up her dribble. Knieven high blocks, tried to kick it right back out to Waldron, almost threw it away. Boer, they drop down the double teamer, and Tinora knocks it out of bounds. I believe that's going to go off of Bailey. It's just, they deke you.
Yeah.
They being Tenora's defense. They've got such great length, such great size. And again, you're not used to seeing teams with so many players 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". The passing lane looks like it's there. You release, and all of a sudden, those long limbs make deflections and get steals.
Yeah. It's as soon as you see it, it's too late.
Well, they don't turn it over, but Waldron will inbound underneath the cylinder. Lob pass, they flash Boer, and there's that length, partially blocked by Durfee. Waldron had it, but again stripped. And the same player that blocked the ball in the post is going to bring it up for Tinora. Oakley, very quiet in the first half. She went scoreless last year. She's got 3 so far tonight. Kreps, low blocks, Boer on her hip. Oakley crosses over. I think she thought contact was coming. The ball bounces off, but Blanchard, Johnny on the spot with another Premier Bank 3.
And you'll take that any day.
Yep. 34-15. The sands slipping through the hourglass here for Ayersville. Waldron on the drive, goes right at Durfee and finishes with the finger roll. 34-17. Tenora's doubled them up. Nice high-low, but the ball off the fingertips of Meyer. Blanchard. Again, they're just smooth. It doesn't look like they're rushing, but it doesn't look like they're slow. It's almost like they're doing a walkthrough.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how smooth they are with a rare turnover. You got that one. You got a multicolored pen.
I change my pins for the quarters as I take my stats.
Gotcha.
Keeps it fun.
And very colorful.
Yes.
Eldridge can even high block. She's going in hard, and she'll draw herself a couple of free throws. Foul against Blanchard will be her first. Knieven, as we mentioned, a decent free throw shooter at 67%. She's 2 for 2 tonight. Not a lot of arch on her shot.
Nope, just barely, that time tipped the front of the rim.
Skimmed over it, hit the square, and then fell through the cylinder. Breathing heavy. She's been working so hard at the defensive end. Second is on the way. Tell you what, she's got it down.
Yeah.
And the lead is 15, 34-19 as we approach 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Durfee sizing up Waldron. Somewhat surprised that they haven't tried to drive on her just to test her defense out. Nice pump fake. Oakley on the drive, switches from the right to the left hand. Boy, how many of those has she missed tonight? She's just wondering what she's got to do to get one to fall.
She does all the hard work. You know, she works her way in there and then just, tough finish tonight.
Waldron, speaking of tough finishes, throws up a prayer. The ball actually bounces right to. That's going to be Hallstead, and we've got a foul. Blanchard picks up her third. And Waldron will head to the charity stripe. Kendra, a 61% free throw shooter, 2 for 3 tonight. Connects on her first. Blanchard will check out. And going with a larger lineup, Coach Thiel sends in Amelia Coy. Waldron, a little bit of a unique free throw stance. She's about a foot off the line, but she drains both. 34-21, it's a mini run. As a matter of fact, Ayersville has outscored Tinora 6-3 here in the third quarter. And is that going to be a turnover? No, it will not. Deflected by Waldron. And this is where Coach Thiel, again, it's not going to be terribly demonstrative, but he is motioning. I think he wants his team to start kicking it into another gear right now. They've kind of been rocked to sleep a little bit. Oh, dangerous pass. And again, they didn't make those in the first half. Meyer was lucky that wasn't going the other way off the deflection by Waldron. Durfee, almost a deflected pass. Ooh, Oakley ripping the ball through, getting a little sassy. Meyer on the drive, throws up a prayer. It is not answered, but Knieven comes down on the baseline. No, they're going to say Meyer did. So a chance for a 6-0 run here for Ayersville. And if they can score this trip down the court, all of a sudden they pull to within 11 or possibly 10 with a 3. Now, Oakley, oh, what a screen by Knieven sends Meyer to the floor. And you could hear the entire gym. Wow. And Meyer saying, I'm going to get a little payback myself, and now it's getting chippy. Oakley drives, dishes. Meyer taking on everybody and anybody, and a late whistle. Who's it against?
I think they'll put it on Boer.
It's going to be Boer, and that's her 4th. Boy, what a screen by Knieven, though.
Well, and that's where you got to call it out as a teammate because it was fully blind.
That'll rock your dental work. Meyer trying to clear the cobwebs, and that one bricks off the right side.
Peyton inside will check in for Kendall Boer.
The freshman in for the freshman. Boer just shaking her head. You can see the frustration in her face. There's a good look of concentration as Meyer trying to hit 1 of 2. Cannot. Ball tapped around, and Knieven's there. And look at this. Your power forward's bringing the ball up the court. Grieve will back it out. They're extending the top half of this. Is this still a 2-3? It looks like it is. But the top half is almost playing like a man right now.
Kind of a matchup 2-3.
Yep. Grieve. Boy, look at Knieven and Tatum Krebs banging away in the high blocks.
Both trying to get position.
Love it. Now Krebs is going to front her, and with those long arms, she knocks it out of bounds.
That was going to be a tough pass either way because you have Krebs fronting her, and then you had Julia Duffy kind of hedging behind, begging you to lob it.
Boy, Avery Knieven has a look on her face like right now. She's coming at you like you're an enemy from the old neighborhood. And she's leaning in on Krebs. Doesn't want to make a move, kicks it out. Reposting. She's going to try a move on Krebs and gets a facial. And now she's tying up.
Looks like
boy,
foul.
she's playing with reckless abandon right now, though. There's an attitude to her, and I like it. And she fouls Meyer. Meyer's wondering, why are you picking on me? You lay me out on a screen, and you lay me out on a jump ball, but she does pick up the foul. Still only 3 total points for Tinora so far in this third quarter. Durfee, pump fakes. Nice footwork by Waldron to cut off the baseline. Lob pass. There you go. I was waiting for them to do this. Krebs a little short. Tapped it to herself. She made that shot more difficult by spinning away to the basket instead of into it, Claire. And we got a whistle in the open court. If you are coaching Tatum Krebs right now, you want her to get the ball on the blocks, but what are you telling her to do once she does?
As soon as she gets it, do not bring it below your head. If you hold it above your head and just do a little bunny jumper, kiss it off the glass, no one's going to be able to block you, stop you, get a hand on the ball. But if you're trying to be too cute and do an extra step here or power dribble, you don't need to do a power dribble. As soon as you bring it down, everybody's going to swarm.
Spangler picks up her second. Waldron tied up, and Waldron ripping through. Nova Oakley with that girl next door look going, who, me? I believe it's just going to be a jump ball. Just over 2 minutes left to go here, third quarter. The lead remains 13 in a very sluggish third quarter, especially for Tinora. Ayersville has actually won this quarter 6-3. Might be adding more as Waldron drives. Shot was contested. Oakley with a rare fast break opportunity. Nobody picks her up. Great crossover.
Nice
spin
defense.
move. And she finishes the fun.
And just a smart play because she had people coming in. She could have kind of sloppily gone up and tried to draw the foul, but she waited, hesitated, ducked a second, paid off.
36-21. If there was a time in this game for Ayersville to make a move, this third quarter would have been it. As Ensign gets swatted by Krebs, Knieven doesn't want to try it. Waldron thought about a heat check. Instead, she's going to drive. It's a little hard off the glass. Scrum in the middle of the paint. Jump ball the call. Arrow points Tinora's way. Well, still outscoring Tinora 6-5, but again, Claire, when you're down by double digits, when you get stops, and Ayersville has had plenty of them, They just haven't been able to convert at the other end. And what's going to end up happening, barring something completely unforeseen, they're going to be looking up, down 15 again to start the fourth quarter.
And that's what I think is tough, because their defense, they've done a good job kind of limiting, and it's just offensively couldn't get the buckets to drop.
Krebs from the elbow. She rushed that shot a little bit, but look at that on the deflection. Now they go down low to Krebs. That time she got her feet underneath herself and had an open look. And how about that? Her first points of the night. And look at it all of a sudden. If you look up in your Ayersville, how does this just not rip your heart out? 38-21, and you, for the most part, have played the better third quarter.
Winning the third quarter,
yep.
Yeah.
Knieven. Would love to see her effort. She's going to go out with both guns blazing. Krebs with her second, team foul number 5, and Knieven back to the charity stripe. She's got 4 on the evening. She is a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe. Make it 5 for 5. You know I don't believe in the broadcasters, James.
We'll see. No, I'm just kidding.
Amelia Coy checking in for Krebs. Come on, Avery, don't make a liar out of me. Shot is up. That's my girl.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Player of the game, Avery Knieven. 38-23, lead is 15. We'll see if Tinora wants to take the air out of the ball with 30 seconds left to go, or if they're running their offense. It looks like they still want their first best look. Near corner, Spangler releases to Oakley. Plenty of time. Wide open. Again, that is a two-handed set shot knuckleball coming from, Bailey. And who got the putback there?
That was Julia
Durfee. I had my nose down in my book. Julia, I apologize. I promise I'll be on the mark the next time you put one in.
Well, and Spangler did a good job saving it from going out and kind of a quick pass to Durfee.
Well, Kendra Waldron, her limp is now becoming more and more noticeable. She's trying to shake it off. Yeah, she's really gimping going over to inbound the ball with 0.2 of a second left. Lob pass comes inbound. They won't get the shot off. We have come to the end of 3 quarters of play. Tinora 40, Ayersville 23. We will take a Mark Motes Ford timeout, serving the community since 1916, located on County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. Rams 40, Pilots 23. Back with the fourth and final quarter on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the hangar. Fourth and final quarter just underway. Tinora with the ball and the lead, 40-23. As Nova Oakley, that is a pretty looking drive, and she used the glass on that short running one-hander. Nova Oakley, she was scoreless in this game last season. She's got 7 tonight. It's only about half her average. But the rest of her teammates, it's just been balanced tonight for the Rams.
Which is, if you're Coach Thiel, that's what you want to see. You don't want anyone to be able to game plan for one player. You want it to be an even distribution between your entire squad.
Grieve on the drive, but Knieven, Johnny on the spot, moving without the ball. Those are her first points from somewhere other than the free throw line. 42-25. Durfee spots up for 3. Boy, it looked good from where we were sitting, and she smacks her hands together. She thought the same thing. Dribble penetration by Knieven. Did she get a little bit of a love tap? Yes, she did. And that's a good show of sportsmanship as she smacks the hand of Emma Bailey. Bailey has picked up her 4th. Kreps in. Boer with 4 will check in for the Pilots. Grieve will head to the bench. And a noticeably gimpy Kendra Waldron will inbound. They get it right back to her. That's just great defense by Durfee. That was a set play to try and get her a shot in the corner. Durfee ruined it. Loose ball. Ensign kicks it out up top. That is a shot put 3 that didn't catch any iron. Ooh! And a hard foul. Meyer is going to need the whirlpool tonight.
Man.
Ensign's first.
She popped right back,
she
back
is.
up.
Well, when you're winning by almost 20, it doesn't hurt quite as much, right? If you're on the short end of that score, you feel it a bit more. Nice drive by Blanchard, but she was cut off. Durfee. Waldron staying on her. Blanchard wants the 3, but the freshman Ensign being pesky defensively. Durfee leaning into Waldron. This is best on best right now. Kreps, little too high. Throws it away. A rare turnover tonight. You only had them for 1 in that 3rd quarter, correct?
Yes.
Out near the timeline. Durfee's going to give Waldron a little bit of cushion. Kendra again, not as aggressive off the drive with what looks to be that ankle trouble. Kreps with the board off the block and stolen away by Ensign. Waldron just being smothered though. Ensign, nice crossover, goes up strong. The freshman finishes and one coming. They're charging this one to Blanchard. That's her 4th. Blanchard will be checking out with 5.5 left to go. Spangler about to check in. Ensign at the stripe. Such a quiet freshman. Much complete opposite of her cousin who was a senior last year, Mabel McGuire. She misses her first. On the drive. Oh, pretty looking move by Spangler, and she's got double digits now with 11. Boy, she showed a second gear there.
Yeah. Well, and just looks so sharp doing it, too. It doesn't, there's no hesitation, no second guessing, just going up strong.
Another turnover. Durfee saves it. Hits a trailing Kreps. Kreps wants to get in on the 3-ball action. Almost got it. It's out of bounds, off of the Pilots. Grieve will check in. I don't know how much more you can leave Kendra Waldron in. I know that she's tough, but at this point the game has been decided.
Well, and it's not worth the potential risk for long term.
Eldridge will check out. They'll lob it into Kreps. That's a little bit more her style. And she hits the shot in the middle of the paint. 19 points the lead. Waldron, you can almost see her just kind of skirting up the court. And Nova Oakley almost got the steal, knocks it out of bounds.
I also can't picture her sitting the bench with this much time left, though, in this situation. I mean, again, you want to be
safe. If she does, you know it's going
to
stiffen up, too, right? So the question is how long do you want to keep her in, as Boer tried. That was a good aggressive move, but she gets swatted by Kreps with the ball on the floor. What's the call, gentlemen?
Jump?
Or out of bounds. Looks like it will remain Ayersville basketball. Tatum Kreps is just... How do you scout for her? How do you practice against that?
Yeah. You tag in one of the men's players. And he can
hey, she's as tall as anybody on the men's roster.
Yeah.
Pachala's at 6'2", maybe 6'3".
Yeah.
I mean, she's just an elite athlete. As we got a turnover. Four and a half left to go in the contest. They run Oakley baseline, nothing doing. Durfee thought about it. Oakley pops out far wing. Testing the waters. Nice bounce pass. Here comes Durfee working against Waldron. Well, Waldron backed off of her. Durfee is upset at herself because that's a shot. If she gets set and gets her feet underneath her, she makes. Nice drive, up and under move, and Grieve showing some aggressiveness. First basket of the night. Oakley pulls the trigger. The draperies swish. Nova Oakley with her second from beyond the arc. That's another Premier Bank three-pointer.
And just like that, she's in double digits.
Yep. And it's a 20-point lead for Tinora. Well, they all have their points. Spangler with 11 off the bench. Oakley with 10. Likewise, 10 for Blanchard. Check that, 11 for Blanchard.
Man, Durfee is just such a hustler. You know, she might not, she's got 5 points, which is great, but maybe not what she'd want offensively, but she just has a hand in everything.
She's the straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah.
Spangler explodes, but leaves this one short. And bum leg or not, look at Waldron on the drive, dishes off. Ensign, have yourself another. That's the equivalent of cutting your meat for you at dinner. Great feed by Waldron. And the freshman Peyton Ensign with 8. And we got a timeout. I believe Coach Theo might be emptying his bench. 32nd, we will keep it here. Do want to let you know our next broadcast on DCTV Sports will be tomorrow night. The River Rivalry, this time at the Emerald Tinora High School Gymnasium, as the boys will take center stage. We'll wait and see if the Rams can remain unbeaten in conference play. For Ayersville, it's been a season of almosts, but again, throw out the records when these two teams play each other. It's going to be your first time at Tinora Gym.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, and it's neat when you get to have rivalry games on back-to-back nights for the guys and the gals, and it's nice it switches gyms as well, so you get a little bit of home, a little bit of away.
You'll also like this. It's an easier trek. When you get off at Dahmersville Road, all you got to do is take a right and
instead of left.
About 2 minutes and you're there. Although you are now familiar with Ayersville Road, so you can get here no problem.
I almost didn't need to put it in GPS today.
Durfee, nice pump fake. Oh, great feed down low as they post Oakley up. That was a designed play, and Oakley smiles that aw shucks, but she's going to the line. Greavy with her first, team foul number 2, and Nova Oakley will get her first opportunity from the charity stripe tonight. Nova, a 59% free throw shooter, and the first one around the world, and it kicks out. And Kendra Waldron will come out limping with 3 minutes left to go. I know this is frustrating for her, but that's a good move by Tim Nicely. Second, and Oakley misses both. So the score remains 49-31. And again, they're just pests. It doesn't matter what the score is.
Yeah.
Meyer still on Greavy. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Inside, outside, down low to Boer. She's going to make that drop step. She will eventually perfect that. I like the fact that she's trying it. A loose ball, turned over, and here comes Durfee. Oh, great feed up the court to Meyer, cut off. This is just great ball movement. Oakley slithers her way in between 4 white jerseys. Give her 2 more.
Well, she's been doing that all night. Just in the first half, it didn't seem to be dropping once she got to the hoop.
Meyer almost got the steal. Again, Ayersville's still having to work just to get the ball across the timeline.
Yeah.
20-point lead, 51-31. Knieven, who's played a fantastic second half. Very gritty. Turns it over. You got this one. And here they come in the open court. Meyer on the drive, a little too hard with the left hand. Woo! Look at Knieven ripping through, waving those elbows.
Got to clear the area.
Challenger at your own risk. Under 2 left to go in the ball game. Ball stripped. We have a whistle.
Now we're clearing the bench.
Yep. And this looks like a line change in hockey. You haven't called a walleye game in a while, have you?
Not in a minute.
And all 5 starters getting a standing ovation for Tinora, as we'll get you names and new numbers. I see Hadley Spieth on the floor. Amelia Coy's seen some time tonight. Likewise, Kate Zimmerman. We've got number 11, India Oakley. Itty Bitty is on the floor. And look at her. Ensign's trying to post her up. Oh, kiddo, I love it. And actually, we've got a turnover out beyond the arc. On to 90 seconds left to go as Ella Holmeyer will bring the ball across half court. Stripped. Still trying to run your offense. And a good look at a three. Kisses the front of the iron, but comes off the side by Spieth, and a good rebound by Grebe. High blocks, tie them up, or do we have a reach and foul? Take your pick. It's going to be a foul against Coy. Her first, team foul number 4. Eldridge will inbound on the baseline with 58 and 7/10 seconds left. And that one's just thrown away. And look who followed it, realizing it. Nice job by Eldridge. She gets swatted. Underneath, almost put in. And that's number 22. That's Brianna Sobecki. On the drive. Stop, pop, jumper, and into the books. Hadley Spieth will have something to show for it. 53-31. And that's just exhaustion, not just physically, but mentally. Peyton Ensign didn't even turn the right way. And just, you can see what it does to you, the body language here for Ayersville.
Yeah.
Look, it's tough, Claire. We're getting beat, but tonight, Tinora also beat up Ayersville at the same time.
Yeah, it's physically, mentally just draining.
So Becky with a good two-handed board. Does anybody in a Pilot uniform still want to run? Eldridge will try it. Loses the ball off of her own hands. And there's just kind of the night encapsulated for Ayersville. Unforced turnover.
Yeah.
And that will do it. It was tight at the end of one. But Tinora ratcheted things up over the next 3 quarters, and with it, get a little payback after losing last year on their home court. They return the favor, 53-31. They're now 10-8 overall, and just as importantly, 4-2 in the Green Meadows Conference. And a season of frustration continues for the Pilots as they fall to 4-14 and 1-5. Handshake line is through. We anticipate being joined by Rams coach Andrew Thiel and a couple of players of his choice. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back with your South Lane 66 postgame show. You are watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at the hangar, they're still milling around a little bit here as the River rivalry. They took a tough loss on their home court last year to Ayersville. Tinora makes the trip across the river. They call them the team across the river, I think is what I've heard multiple times, and get a little payback this year in the hangar, and they do so convincingly, 53-31. With the win, the Rams now 10-8 overall, more importantly 4-2 in the GMC. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Dow. Well, we usually keep dignitaries on the left and luminaries on the right, but we keep royalty in the middle. Two double-digit scorers here in Eowyn Blanchard and Madison Spangler. Eowyn had a dozen. Madison had 11. You guys don't seem to really care too much who the high-point scorer is. It's tonight's proof, isn't it, that there's enough points to go around for everybody?
For sure.
For sure. Woman of few words. What's the difference between last year and this year for this team? Eowyn, let's start with you.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
How much more confident are you as a player this year compared to last season?
A lot more confident, yeah.
How about Addison? What did the coaches tell you they wanted from you to start this season? What did they challenge you to do?
Last year I started on JV, so they tried to make me more aggressive on the court rather than just fouling, and made me, I don't know, just more aggressive and keep my eyes up and work harder on the court rather than be mindful of other people too.
Well, and speaking of aggressive, you had 9 points in that third quarter. Oh my gosh, what worked for you in that third quarter?
I don't really know. I just went out there, high head, just went at it.
Did you realize how many, what a point string you were putting together?
I try to keep the high energy that whole time, but I don't try to focus on how many points I have. I try to just keep high energy the whole time, and just kind of go with that.
You turned defense into offense. I think I counted at least 3 steals out around the top of the key where you got it, and then it was just Katie bar the door. You were off to the races. Were they tipping anything? Were you anticipating? Was there something in the scout earlier this week that led you to be able to do that?
I was actually sick all week, so
She could have lied and told us yes, absolutely. So you were just seeing it well, right? Yeah. Okay. Eowyn, how about you? When did you start to get your feet underneath yourself in this game here? Because it seemed like you kind of hit a stretch where all of a sudden the basket looked like it might have been a big old bucket.
Yeah, I mean, just being aggressive and getting after it, yeah.
You're hearing the theme, though, being aggressive, right? Is that something that Coach Thiel stresses no matter who the opponent is, right?
Yeah.
Did he challenge you to do the same thing in the offseason?
I think, yeah, we challenge each other to be aggressive out there and work as a team.
Does that come naturally for you, or did you have to work at it?
Pretty natural.
She says that and then she laughs. She can do that when she drops a dozen and they win by nearly 20 points. Claire?
What is kind of the mindset of this team coming into this rivalry game? You're on the road. What was the focus?
To get the win. Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
They're meat and potatoes right now, Claire. They are meat and potatoes. They don't need a whole lot of side dishes. All right, so let me ask you this. Masson, let's start with you. How much better is this team? Because the first time we had you was back before Christmas at the DPT Classic. How much better is this team now compared to a little over a month ago?
I feel like we definitely worked harder at practices, and I feel like we've really improved over that 2-month span.
Eowyn, I'll ask you to kind of piggyback off of that. How much better can this team still get in the final 3 weeks?
A lot better.
How much better can you get? What are some of the things you're going to be working on?
Crashing the boards, still being aggressive in that aspect, and steals, and still hitting shots.
They're smiling killers is what they are. They'll catch you and then they'll giggle about it.
Hey, you go on the road, a rivalry game, you get a big win with your buddies. I mean, what could be better?
Well, let's ask you about that, because I was at your practice last night, and this is a big deal. It's a healthy rivalry. I don't think you're bringing blood out there on the court, but at the same time, you guys lost on your court last year, and I saw the seniors, especially Carly, how bad it hit her. You get to come over here and get a little payback in the hangar. What was your mindset like? Did Coach even have to give a big pregame speech, or were you guys ready to go?
We just wanted to go. Yeah, we were ready. Yeah.
So now that you're standing here on the tail end of it and you're into double-digit wins, have you allowed yourself to enjoy it right now, or is it going to kick in maybe on the bus ride back?
Probably kick in the bus ride back.
Okay. Now I'm looking, and next up, hold tight, Claire, please, Phil, and I'm going to find their schedule.
You both said that this team can get better. What about this team do you think is going to make you have a successful run into the postseason? What's the special it factor that you guys have, other than being aggressive?
Oh, that's hard now.
You took away the trump card.
Yeah. I feel like we do very well working as a team and working together and bonding very well on and off the court. We talk very well, like on the court, off the court. I just feel like we're very bonded as a team.
Yeah.
Up next, you guys, on Tuesday, it looks like, at Elmwood. You only have one more conference game left. Hard to believe with roughly a handful of games left, they're all going to be out of conference, but that doesn't mean that you aren't making a push towards the second season. Did you guys openly talk about what your goals were at the beginning of this year? Eowyn, let's start with you.
Yeah. Hoping to win GMCs, but coming a little short of that, I think. But
what else? That couldn't have been the only one.
Having a good seed going into districts and regionals and tournament altogether.
Madison, you're nodding yes. Any others that you would add to that?
Just go far in the tournament. We're ready.
You guys still talk about it? I know it's one thing to talk about at the beginning of the season. As the season wears along, I know it's coach speak to say, oh, the only game that matters is the next one on the schedule. That's what Coach Thiel will probably say when he comes over. But you guys openly talk about still wanting to finish up strong, make that deep run, or has he trained you well? The most important game is the next one on the schedule.
I mean, it's definitely discussion, yeah. Where we're seated, where we're going, who we're going to play.
Good. Now, that's an honest answer.
Yes.
That's refreshing. But, Madison, it's okay to talk about it sometimes, isn't it? I mean, you don't want to get there and then all of a sudden look at each other and go, we're here, what do we do now? This group seems like it's mature enough that you can do both. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I think Thiel prepares us very well for tournament games and talks about like what we need to prepare for and what we need to look for in tournament games.
Guess who's coming over? We're going to see if you told us the truth. Congratulations, ladies. Great win tonight. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Again, Eowyn Blanchard and Madison Spangler joining us. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, it is the coach. Coach Thiel's going to join us on the South Lane 66 postgame show. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Still a little bit of a buzz here. It's mainly the Tinora fans as they're hanging around. As we welcome you back to the hangar, Brent Balbinot, Claire Dow, as the South Lane 66 postgame show, being joined by the man, the myth, now the coach. I was going to say the legend, but we'll give you a few more years before we can dub you with that title. Andrew Thiel, I tell you what he is. He's a happy coach right now as his team knocks off arch rival Ayersville 53-31. You're now 10-8 overall. More importantly, 4-2 in conference play. Let's start from the beginning. It was a little bit of a tight first quarter. We thought Ayersville did a good job of kind of mucking things up. Coach Nicely said they did not want to run. The salsa needed to be mild for him in that first quarter, and it really was. You had good looks. They started to fall eventually, but then a 6-point lead turns into a 16-point lead at the half, and you never looked back. Your take on the game through all 4 quarters?
Yeah, first quarter we come out, we got them moving a little bit, and we know going in a lot of games, we're conditioned, we're in shape. We have, I call my team a bunch of track athletes out there. A bunch of them want to go. So teams are going to hang around for a little bit, but essentially, they started closing that gap a little bit there. We got in some foul trouble. Some girls come off the bench, and that was huge. The girls come off the bench, I think they said we had 16 bench points or something like that.
Yeah.
If you can get 16 bench points, Madison Spangler stepping up tonight was awesome. So, bench players stepping up in the second quarter, kind of pulling that lead for us a little bit going into halftime. And like we talked in the locker room at halftime, keep looking to shoot the ball. I was kind of confused by the defense a little bit. They didn't want to guard us outside on the perimeter so much. Not Christina and Amelia, they didn't want to guard them. We took turns a little bit. We pulled Christina off. I had to talk with her. I said, shoot the ball. Keep shooting the ball. They're not guarding you. And then, Amelia goes out there. I pull her off and say same thing to her. It gets discouraging sometimes when, you go out there and miss the first 3 or 4. But I told the girls, keep shooting the ball. We know they can hit it in practice. They've done it in the games all season. So keep looking to score. Don't get in your head. They were telling me over at 105 in the bowl, Mike was talking about rebounds, and his tail too high. I was going to get a little bit better on the boards. But, all in all, really proud of the girls. They sealed the win up, and that's huge. A lot of fun.
Coming into a game like this, do you feel like you have to help them temper their emotions a little bit on the road rivalry game, or were they kind of locked in the whole time?
I think they're pretty locked in. The girls do a pretty good job. Whether it doesn't matter who it is. Tatum was bodying up down there pretty good for a little bit. We did have to talk to her, say, Tatum, I like you like this, I get that, but let's back down a little bit. No, the girls did a great job. They love this game. Last couple of years, we've been 0-3 against Ayersville. My first season 2 years ago, we lost to them by 5 in the DPT, lose to them by 5 regular season at their place. Last year, they come to our house, and we lose by 8, and that was huge. So it's nice. The girls really enjoyed it. It's nice to get out there and get a win against Ayersville.
And a statement win, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Well, you talked about Krebs. She's such a tough cover. I don't know how any of your opponents can actually scout for that, but she doesn't seem to force it. She took a couple of shots, one beyond the arc, but you were feeling it. Obviously, you were up close to 20 points, but it seems like she's really at her best when she's grabbing garbage down low and just muscling back up strong.
Yeah, she's strong inside, but she's really becoming a really smart basketball player. She does a great job of recognizing, okay, I've got 2 girls on me, so somebody's open. She's really good at turning around, squaring up the basket. Some weak side nose to crash to the basket, and we get a nice shot out of that. Whatever the case is, she's doing a really good job reading the court and being patient, being relaxed, doing what she needs to do.
Another player, again, if you just look at the stats, and again, everybody got their own. Blanchard with the dozen, Nova Oakley with the dozen, Spangler with 11 off the bench. But Julia Durfee just seems to be the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, you're running her at the top of the zone, then the bottom of a 1-3-1. She's matching up on Waldron. You're putting best on best. She's got good handles, dribble penetration, and yet at the same time she can stop and pop.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anonymous voice in the chorus because we know, anybody that follows Tinora girls basketball understands how important she is, but it just looks like, what's a good word? Smooth. Effortless sometimes. Is that a good way to describe her?
Yeah, I'd say Julie. I mean, she's very calm, cool, relaxed, patient. She does a great job handling the ball, even with full court pressure. It doesn't matter. She does such a great job handling the ball. We talked in the off season, leading into the season, that a lot of teams are going to draw AON and Nova as their shooters. Told Christina, and I think they're waving at me over there. Talked about Christina and Julia. Said, hey, you're going to be drawing the third or fourth best defender. Take advantage of opportunities here. Create some opportunities. And Julia, the other night she had a career game scoring-wise. She knows it's not always going to be scoring, but she can do other things out there on the floor to make a difference for sure.
All right, so you've got, 4 or 5 games left to go. Only one is conference. The rest are out of conference. As a matter of fact, I look down here. Next up, it's Tuesday at Elmwood. Saturday, excuse me. So walk us through what you want to see, how much better this team can still get before you get ready for the postseason.
I think this team can get a lot better, yeah. I mean, we're doing what we need to be doing right now. We want to progress as the season goes on. We want to prepare for tournament, and that's what the girls are doing right now. They're doing a great job of building that unity right now, and that's huge. The girls start working together more and more. They find their teammates. They start recognizing teammate tendencies, which is huge too. Oh, I'll get this ball here. This person's a fake high, and they're going to try to drop to the basket, backdoor court, whatever the case is. I think the possibilities are endless with these girls. There's a lot of potential with this team. They're all laughing at me down there and pointing at me right now.
Are they watching you live on their phone? Is that what they're doing? They all are.
They hold it up.
We gave him his best side. We've given you all plenty of love, and we expect to see you in another couple weeks. And look at Durfee now. Talk about a player that's come out of her shell. She never said more than 2 words to me last year, and now all of a sudden I think if we could just get like a green spot over her, maybe get her an agent. She's ready to get a posse, and she needs a limo on the ride home instead of a bluebird.
Yeah, she likes to pick on me quite a bit. She's come out of her shell a lot. She's given me a lot of heck the last couple of years now, and now it's her senior year. She's getting a little more comfortable, and she gives it to me about all the time.
You go get her. You go get her right now.
Now she's shaking her head and banging her face. I don't know what's going on.
Crocodile tears over there, kid. We see you. We see you. Peace and love.
The way over here on the bus, she's peeking her eyes right over the seat. I'm like, what are you doing? She was looking at me. I said, okay.
There are characters on this roster, aren't there? They're trying to keep it low key. But, well, Coach, congratulations. Enjoy it. 53-31, not done yet. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Steele coming up and joining us. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to put a wrap on the South 66 Lanes postgame. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back to put a wrap on the South 66 Lanes postgame show on DCTV. Brent Balbinot alongside Claire Dow as the hangar has turned quiet with the exception of Tinora as they're hooting and hollering down there as Coach Steele came down to join them. But they can enjoy themselves en route to a 53-31 victory. They're now 10-8 overall, 4-2 in the GMC. The Pilots fall to 4-14 and 1-5. Claire, again, this is a team right now that – I think a good way probably to describe it is they're peaking. What's the old phrase? You want green and growing in January instead of ripe and rotten in February. This is a team that if you sleep on them, they're going to put a knot on your head.
Well, and you don't know who it's going to come from either. I mean, you have a little bit of an idea, but there's so many different scoring weapons. We said 16 points off the bench. That's what you want to see this time of year, and the sky is the limit for this Lady Rams squad.
One last piece of unfinished business to take care of. It is our BSN player of the game. Man, so much balance. 12 points for Blanchard, 12 points for Oakley, 11 off the bench. But I'm looking down here, and again, Madison Spangler with 11 off the bench. You know what she came in averaging? 1.5. Well, I think we've got our player of the game.
Between that and then her 9 points came and really made the difference in that second quarter because, it was a 6-point lead after one. Expand that to a 16-point lead. 9 of those points were thanks to Madison Spangler.
So Madison Spangler, we choose you as our BSN player of the game. That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We're going to be right back here, but on the other side of the river. Can't wait for you to get a chance to take a look at the Emerald tomorrow night. It will be the boys taking center stage in the Maumee River rivalry. We hope that you will join us. We anticipate about a 6:50, maybe 7 o'clock pregame, and then it will be time for tip-off. For our entire crew, big thank you going out to our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility. Folks, if you enjoy our broadcast, please patronize those businesses. Walk through their doors, spend some money, and on the way out, please let them know how much you appreciate their sponsorship of us in order to bring you the best high school coverage in this area. For Claire Dow, I'm Brent Balbinot, thanking you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score again tonight. The River Rivalry, girls style, goes to the Rams 53-31. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.